A message from Project Joseph of Dallas, a ministry for men who have suffered the experience of abortion.
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
Well, welcome everybody to another edition of Back to the Father here on the GRN's social media sites, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and we're glad you're with us. We took last week off because we had our share-a-thon. But we got some good news, some exciting news. I don't know if he's on camera yet, but our prodigal son has returned to the program. Let me first of all tell you what the topic is today. We are going to talk about the angels. Now, we've done that before. I don't know how long it's been, but I got a little bit different of an angle, a different twist on the angle of the angels. And basically, why should we care that there are a lot of different orders and hierarchies of angels? What is a hierarchy? What is an order? What do the angels do? What are their various responsibilities? And how might that matter in the big picture for our lives? Or does it even matter at all? Well, according to St. Thomas Aquinas, it matters a whole lot. And I'll explain that as we go along. And hopefully you'll be convinced of that as well. So we're glad you're with us. And we always like you to participate if you want to comment and ask questions, or you kind of know the routine. We've been kind of building the audience over the last few months, and we're glad you're with us. And so let me introduce the cast of crazy characters that we have in studio. I was accused this morning on Catholic Drive Time of harassing our interns. I don't know if do I harass our interns?
They keep coming back, so just saying.
Well, yeah, we don't make them come. They keep coming back. So anyways, this over here is Cecil Anderson.
Hello.
Wearing her baseball cap backwards.
Yes, I am.
We don't even know what it is.
No, it's, hang on. Baseball caps don't look quite right on me on the front, but it's a Chosen hat that I got from a merch bag. Oh, you can't even see it. It's washed out. It says The Chosen on it. It's got a fish, I think. But yeah, that's my hat.
All right.
For the day.
Any big Chosen news that you want to share with us?
Well, I think Dave's just fishing. He wants to talk about his big Chosen news.
I want to hear what you have to say.
I have exciting Chosen news, but his outshines mine. So I am going to go to the dedication of their film set in Midlothian, Texas in a few weeks. So that's super, super exciting. And then Dave.
I got some not quite as big of news. I don't get to go to the set and the dedication, but I just get flown out to Atlanta for like the red carpet premiere with all the stars on the red carpet. It's going to be so tortuous. I mean, I am.
He's really depressed.
You would
he's
think I would
missing.
have better things to do with my time.
I know, right?
But those things are pretty cool. If you guys stay in radio, which I suggest you do, you get invited to a lot of cool things. You get to.
And you get free hats.
A lot of perks, a lot of free hats. You get.
I've gotten 2 free T-shirts this week.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, anyways, welcome. Glad you're with us. You like the topic, angels?
I do. I'm always. It's one of those things. Like, I feel coming from a Protestant background, it's not something we really talked about because everyone had such different views about angels in the Protestant church, and so it was like a subject you just didn't talk about. And so I remember one of the very first Catholic kids camp, like VBSs that I did, was the theme was all angels, and I was like, I can't wait to learn. I have no idea.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Why would it be different in the Protestant world? There's just more opinions.
I think the whole a lot of people thought like saying everyone had a guardian angel was like a fluffy thing. It wasn't really like taken seriously.
Did they think it sounded too Catholic or what?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because you're praying to someone who's not God, or be talking to someone. Because like they can't make the argument that they're dead because they were never human to begin with.
Yeah.
So you can't really do that, but at the same time, it's too close to a saint, I'd imagine.
Yeah, right. It's too Catholic.
It's too Catholic.
Yeah, too much. And plus, we call them Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel and all that. So they are officially saints, but that's a little bit confusing. All right, here we have William Kirkendall to your right, I guess, if you're looking on the screen. Yeah, that guy right there.
Might be backwards because...
And we have the triumphant return of Jonathan von Weber-Hansberg, who had the nerve of starting college. And
I had the nerve.
And then, but thankfully, you're just like a couple miles away. And so you'll
it's
be
like
able
a
to
straight shot down here, pretty much.
And you're going to escape just in time for the trivia challenge at the end of the show, right?
Yes, because I have a class, and I can't do the trivia because I have to go to class.
Yeah. So how's school so far? Do you like it?
Well, I don't like the core very much. But I do enjoy the other classes I'm taking, and I really don't enjoy lit trad. I have to say that because
is that a particular class?
Yeah, this literary tradition.
Okay,
because we're reading the Iliad, and I don't like the Iliad very much.
I liked Homer. I thought it was fun. It was interesting to read.
It was better than a lot of some of the books that you read to read.
Yeah,
So what you got to look forward to, William?
Literature. No.
You guys don't like literature?
No, I'm taking an English class.
Well,
it's just getting harder every week.
I like literature, but not ancient literature.
Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer American or Russian literature.
Yeah. Well, hang with it. Maybe your mind will change. We'll just kind of get your opinion every week as you come back.
Yeah, there we go. I will say, my teacher for lit trad looks and sounds exactly like a video game character that I know, and that is really cool.
That's a good thing?
That's a good thing, yes.
Are other people saying the same thing, or is that just your opinion?
No, I haven't talked about it yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to seem weird.
Yeah.
On the radio, I'll say, yeah.
Now you're broadcasting
just,
it
to anyone
the whole
basically
world,
in the world.
Yeah.
All right.
Good call.
So I am still getting on the different social media sites. So you guys talk amongst yourselves for a second. But William's still in high school and hasn't quite decided where you're going to school in a couple years or what?
Well, I'm thinking about my 4-year plan. I'm like 90% sure I want to go to UD if I can get in. If not, maybe Dallas Community College.
Woo.
And then what I'm thinking about.
A whoop for Dallas Community College.
No one ever cares about Dallas College. So anytime anyone mentions it, I have to try.
That's the first time ever anybody has whooped for
Go Blazers!
Yeah, only if I can't get into UD. I'm thinking about maybe after the 2 years at UD, maybe Franciscan University in Ohio to double major in politics and broadcasting.
But it is Ohio. You have to think about that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm still
Stupidville.
Wow.
Stupidville,
Wow.
yeah, misnamed. All right, and the other side of the glass, we have Diane Xavier. She is running the board and keeping us all on the air and also taking your calls. If you want to call in, the phone number is 877-757-9424. And I think I've pretty much given up on finding all the social media sites. So you guys just keep an eye on the comments, and we're glad that you are there. And like I said, the last couple of weeks we've ramped up in the number of people watching, so that's kind of cool. All right, so we like to have a PowerPoint presentation, and I got a cool picture of an angel right there. So let me just kind of go around the horn here, and Cecil's already given her perspective on Protestants and angels, or do you guys have a particular interest in angels?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what about them interests you, or what have you studied about them?
Well, I've done the basic angelology and theology class 2 years ago, I think it was, in high school. But I just really like the idea of guardian angels. I think that's so cool, and the idea of how you can have like sort of like an opposing, I wouldn't say guardian, but guardian demon.
Yeah.
I think it was that like when God created an angel for like me, say, that angel might have fallen, and he would become like a patron demon of mine that would constantly try and get me to fall into sin. But then God would make another. Well, that's kind of what I heard. He would keep making them until they eventually said yes. So it could be that I have like 100 demons that all hate me specifically because I was their purpose.
I've never heard that before. Is that theologically sound?
Yeah.
Who wrote about that? Because I've never. I know Aquinas doesn't write about that.
No, it was
that you could have 100 demons that are trying to pull you off track.
Yeah.
And then like one little angel who's trying to, it's like the whole thing about them sitting on your you've seen that image.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Like one trying to get you to sin and one trying to put you in the right
The
direction.
demon and the angel on your shoulder. Yeah.
What was it? A light, not light to the nations. It was Following Christ in the World by Ann Carroll, I think it was.
Okay.
That's the one we used, and it was in that.
And it said that. Okay. Have
Yeah.
you ever heard of that, William?
I haven't heard about the 100 thing, but I have
It's
heard.
necessarily 100, but you know.
But they're like a.
It could be.
Hypothetically, there could be,
Hypothetically.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. What I've heard is that there's like one demon assigned to every human, but there's 2 angels assigned to every human, something like that. So like the good angel always the good angels always counteract the bad angel. So you two good angels for every like one bad angel.
A lot of it is speculation. I think that, I mean, if we went to the catechism, I think that probably the catechism would only say that angels exist. Maybe a little bit about them being intellect and will and no spirit. They can take on bodies, and that each one, and that we're assigned an angel at our conception. I would bet you, and I'm not saying that somebody isn't teaching this, but I doubt that the catechism would talk about like the little demons that are
Well, that's true.
ganging up against you. But who knows? I mean, a lot of it's speculative, anyways. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
right?
because the argument in the book made was that he created all the angels at once, and they all had a singular purpose. So he creates a guardian angel meant to guard, John. That's your purpose in life. But he still had the choice to follow God or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if he chose not to, he's out of the picture. And then he's like a demon who resents you so much because you were his one purpose in life. And he thought, oh, that's stupid. I don't want to take care of John, whatever. So now he's in hell and he's furious at me.
Johnisms.
Yeah. But then God would
I
have to
missed
substitute a new
this.
angel.
Sis wasn't paying attention. Yeah. By the way, your mom is so funny. And,
She's also watching, by the way.
Yeah, and
Oh,
is
she
she?
is.
I just, your mom cracks me up. And we were in Sissel's office, and I don't remember the exact details, but she said something. And Sissel and I both looked at each other and we were like, that is so Jonathan. Like what she's, do you remember that?
Yes, it was. It was really, really funny.
We're like, now we know exactly where Jonathan gets his, I don't like Jonathanisms.
Jonathanisms.
Like really kind of interesting, a little
Maybe they're
offbeat.
actually von Weber-Hansberger-isms. There probably was
Burger-isms.
that was a little bit more complicated to say
Doesn't
than I
exactly
thought was
roll off the tongue. Does it? All right, so William, how extensively have you studied angels, or how much interest do you have in them?
Not too much study on them. I am interested in them. I think what's really nice about angels is that it really distinguishes us from the Protestants because they don't do the whole angel thing. They don't believe in saints, angels, guardian angels. I think it's interesting how Catholics do. It really distinguishes us from them and all the rest of the other religions.
Yeah.
So I haven't studied it much, but it is interesting for sure.
Now, you said they don't believe in angels, but they are so scripture based, and angels are all over scripture. So
Right.
I'd find
Yeah.
it very hard to believe that a Protestant wouldn't believe in angels because they're so. And to their credit, they are so faithful to scripture because it's
Right.
kind of like all they got.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're sola scriptura many times.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, didn't Luther take out like a couple books of the Bible, like James and
Yeah.
a couple passages? Yeah. So their Bible's kind of revised from the original writings in the medieval times, right?
Yeah, but there are angels everywhere in the
But angels
Bible.
in the Old
Okay.
Testament.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
So, anyways, I want to make sure, I don't know, maybe there's a Protestant that's out there watching us right
Dave,
now.
when I go to like Christian bookstores,
Yeah.
I mean, Christian is Protestant, Catholic. I mean, they have tons of books on angels.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
know they believe in angels.
I think to distinguish to give fairness to the Protestants, there's like so many different denominations, and so I'd say that really the ones that I attended growing up were very were quite a bit different than non-denominational ones, and so they tended to have quite a bit of not as much about the fluffy, like you haven't. A lot of the belief in angels, like, if someone said, like, I think my angel saved me that day, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, they just didn't really believe that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe, again, maybe there's somebody that's out there watching that can represent the
where
Protestant
does
side.
one go to study angels?
Aquinas.
Thomas Aquinas. I was gonna say.
That's why we're here.
You
Why-
watch, Aquinas' nickname was the Angelic Doctor, and one of the I think there's different ideas of why he was given that name. I think one of the reasons for sure is that he wrote a lot about angels. Also, I think he had. Angels are pure in the sense that they don't have bodies,
Right.
and so an angel could never have lustful thoughts, or they're never going to overeat, or sleep too much, or they're never going to have any kind of temptations of the flesh.
But where does Aquinas get his authority to teach on angels?
Well, good
Where
question.
does that
Good
come
question.
from?
Yeah, well, he took it from he mostly gathered it from previous writings. Augustine wrote on angels, and Damascene, and Jerome.
Oh,
and,
former saints.
yeah, and then he might have
older saints.
Yeah, and so the saints before him, because Aquinas was writing in the 13th century, and so he'll quote from a lot of authorities, and also Scripture. I mean, Scripture is chock full of information about angels.
If I could cut in real quick, back to the Protestant view, I did actually know a Baptist who said he didn't really believe in angels because he doesn't. A lot of times they don't believe in demons. And he was telling me that the idea of demons just being fallen angels, it just seems like it's all kind of more like a myth just to help explain God. Now, of course, that's not a blanket thing for all Protestants, but just like that's the only experience I have with the Protestant view of angels is that they think it's more to sort of like figurative, just sort of like, oh, you use it to explain something or that kind of show his power, but they're not real. Demons aren't real, angels aren't real, that kind of thing.
I think the safest thing you can say is that there are so many different denominations and they all have slightly different views on it. And so there's no one standard belief on angels. Like it could be like, oh, those are angels back in the Bible times. We don't really communicate with angels now at all. Like we don't have any, or whatever it may be. There's a lot of different views.
Now, Luther didn't throw out the book of Revelation.
No, he didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Revelation is just chock full of
Yeah,
angels.
absolutely, yeah.
So I think, I would guess 97% of all Protestants would at least say when, Revelation says that an angel appeared to John, or like in Revelation 13 when the dragon appeared, and the same Michael is referred to in Revelation, and so I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe we have to have a Protestant on the program with us, so we can't just speculate about what Protestants believe.
Ooh.
But anyways, we always want to be fair to our Protestant brethren and sisterin when we talk about this kind of stuff.
Sisterin. Is that a word?
Sister, right? It is now. It is now.
It's a Dave word.
So the hierarchies and orders of angels. There's 9 of them. Okay. I think we had a program about this. It might have been before your time, William. But do y'all know what the 9 are in order? And what the thing is that the doctors, and if you had asked me 24 hours ago, I could have named them all, but I don't know that I would have known the order.
Good.
But I have the advantage of like staying up late on Thursday evening, researching
Studying
for the show.
this, yeah.
But there's 9 orders, and so the question that I want to pose on the program today is why are there 9 and not 16 or 4? And why are they ordered? What does it matter? And how does it relate to our own experience in heaven? Okay.
Fantastic questions, Dave.
Yeah.
I hope you have
sure you
answers to
can
those.
No, I just posed the questions. You guys give me the answers.
We have to come up with the answers.
So I only know 4 of the choirs or of the ranks. I mean, you got angels, like the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
And you got no offense,
bad.
angels, but in terms of angels.
You're not helping their esteem.
Yeah.
By
Yeah, I
the way.
was gonna say, wow.
Okay, so angels
What's cool?
are-
They can't really be offended, can they?
I don't know. Okay, so
angel?
let's see. If an angel's in heaven, it can't sin. It can't even be unhappy.
Yeah, so he's
So your little insults are going to just fall flat on them.
Exactly,
They're like, hey,
yeah.
I don't care. I'm in heaven, man.
That's right.
So you got the angel, and then what's the next one?
archangel.
Yeah, archangel. And
Wait,
next
where do
one?
guardian angels fall? Guardian angels there?
Guardian-
Guardian angels
anything.
are.
Oh, the angels.
No, guardian angels are the lowest.
Oh, I thought they could be from anything.
You're not going to have a seraphim guardian angel.
Oh, you got a point. Yeah.
Although
That'd be cool.
awesome.
that's one thing Joe.
Some of us might need them.
Joe McClain said
honestly.
Joe McClain said on CDT this morning because I said, my guardian angel is the lowest level, and he said, oh, mine isn't. Mine's up. But I think all the guardian angels are of the lowest level, and there's a reason for that because only the lowest level has to do with the kind of application of angelic power on the earth. They're only ones that interact directly with the world. And so and Thomas is very clear about this: is that the first 6 of them would not directly interact with the world. That'd be more for the lower angels.
Okay.
Got it.
They got bigger things to do.
Bigger fish to
More
fry.
important things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so you got the angels, you got the archangels.
Is
and
it
then,
seraphims next?
No.
Cherubim.
No, Seraphim and Cherubim
No.
were the
Thrones?
top 2.
Are they the
Not
top
thrones.
No.
2?
No.
Dominions.
Principality.
Principalities.
Now, Diane, are you cheating?
Yes.
Diane, do not cheat.
I'm always fascinated about angels, and I want to learn.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of for example, in the Fatima story, when Our Lady appeared to the shepherd children 6 times, May to October of 1917, Well, before she came, an angel came. Okay, so the principality angels are the ones that oversee whole nations and kingdoms.
Oh,
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they
Wow.
have direct, so there would conceivably, not conceivably, there is an angel that would oversee the United States, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an angel that oversees Texas.
There probably is.
They got a
Scott
hard
would love
work
that.
hard. Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
be the angel for Texas when I die.
You can't be an angel when you die, Jonathan. Do we need to go back over this?
Watch me.
Even I know
Saint.
that.
Jonathan, have you not learned
Saint.
anything in this program?
There you go. Yeah, you,
been
can be
gone
the,
for a
you can be the
while.
saint of Texas,
Hi.
not
There you
the
go.
patron saint of Texas.
No, every angel is its own species. Okay, you know that, right? And so an angel you cannot become an angel
An angel cannot become one of us.
any more than a caterpillar can become an eagle. Because they're different.
Oh,
they're-
you just crushed a bunch of caterpillars. Or,
it's like saying a
dreams.
caterpillar
Wow.
could become a butterfly. I mean, come on. So, no, I'm kidding.
I want to give a couple, real quick, Dave. I'm going to give a couple shout outs to some of the people that we have watching today. We've got Buddy is in the house
All
and
right.
Lori on Facebook. We've got Angela von Weber Hansberg on
Oh, gee, I
YouTube.
wonder who that is.
We also have Monica and Mary also on YouTube as well. So those
Monica
are
and Mary.
some of the newer listeners. I don't remember seeing Mary's name before. I think we've had Monica before, but welcome everyone.
Okay.
Hello.
Anybody commenting other than just to say hi?
Mostly to say hi
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate
and to be jealous of us going to the chosen things.
Yeah. And I think my mom is watching. I don't know if your dad's watching or your mom. We
All
could
right,
really we could build up our audience.
We
if
could
get
just
our
if all our
parents to
families would
watch.
actually
Yeah.
watch. Yeah, unfortunately, my sister had to go and get a job. So
Lame.
she used to watch all the time, and now she's got a job, so she can't.
Oh,
so,
really?
Wow.
So
you
she
know.
was one of our viewers.
She was one of our viewers.
Because
Yes.
remember, Buddy went off and he got a
Yeah,
job.
because he's a job, but he says he's on a break. That's why he's visiting.
Oh,
with us.
okay. Well, good to have you with us, Buddy. All right, so we've established that the lowest hierarchy. Okay, a hierarchy is 3 angels. So you got 3 sets of 3. Okay, but then the orders: angel, archangel, principality, which Diane said, and then you got the next ascending hierarchy. And
Is it the virtues ones?
let's go from bottom to top, and the lowest one would be the
Angels.
no, oh gosh,
Oh.
now I'm making sure I get this right. I'm sorry. It's okay. No, let's go from the top. The top, the very top is seraphim.
Yeah.
Seraphim.
Yeah.
And then
Cherubim.
and then it is the
Thrones.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Thrones.
That's what I thought.
And then
Dominions?
Dominions.
No, dominations or
Yeah,
dominions.
yeah.
Dominions.
And then you have the virtues.
Yes.
And then you have the powers.
Wait, so what do the
Wait,
dominions
whoa,
do?
hold up.
Okay.
I need to write this out for myself.
Yeah,
I'm
no, okay, so
confused.
let's go from top to bottom. You have seraphim, cherubim, thrones. And that group collectively is called the thrones. So if you're talking about the thrones in heaven, that would be that first hierarchy of the seraphim, the cherubim, and
And then there's
the
the
thrones.
virtues, power.
Okay, and then the next one would be dominations or dominions. That's same thing, okay? And then virtues, and then powers.
And then principality.
And
Wait,
then principalities, and then archangels, and then angels.
I feel like I'm
okay.
preparing for like a catechism
Yeah.
test here.
So let me ask all of our esteemed viewers out there who are watching. Did y'all know the 9? Did you know the order? Have you ever thought about this? And also, why does it matter? Okay, and this is what I kind of want to get at during this program. Why does it matter? Why would there be an order? Why would there be assignments? Because they all do different things. The top 3 basically just kind of unite themselves. It's almost like that whole Martha and Mary thing, where Martha, you're troubled by many things, but Mary has done the greater thing, right? Because she was like adoring Jesus, right? And that's what the top level does. They mostly are just united to God. It's almost like they're not really doing anything other than just kind of praying and But then the second one has to do with causality. They're the ones that kind of like make the master plan of what is to be done. So they're involved, but they're not actually doing it. Then the bottom rung are the foot soldiers, and they're overseeing countries, they're overseeing people, they're overseeing, they're actively involved in the world.
Yeah.
But the top 6 orders are not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I just want to catch up on a couple of comments here. Lori said that she keeps getting confused on the levels and choirs of angels. So I'm going to read it one more time. Top:
Okay.
seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, angels.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's not that me saying that fast was going to help, but Monica says she's very excited about the topic. Never studied angels, but it'll help her understand more when she prays the chaplet to Saint Michael. And then Mary says that she knew that there were 9, but she did not know the correct order of them.
All right. Well, let me kind of throw out a little theory, and I say this is just something that I've been thinking about in reading Aquinas, and get y'all's thoughts on it. So if you go to the next slide there, it says whether the degrees of beatitude should be called mansions. Okay. Now this is now talking about human beings. When we get to heaven, like Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many, many rooms, right? That's scriptural. Well, what does that mean? Thomas calls them mansions. And what he's basically getting at is, and let me just kind of read this. It says, the unity of a house corresponds to the unity of beatitude, which unity is on the part of the object, and the plurality of mansions corresponds to the differences of beatitude on the part of the blessed. Okay? So that means that our beatitude, our experience in heaven, is not going to be exactly the same. There's going to be, like, the Blessed Mother is going to have one experience, and then some schmuck that just barely got in.
So different levels.
Kind of scraped him his way in and, just got, spent 18,000 years in purgatory. It may be at a different level. Everybody will be perfectly happy, but, some people can be happy at McDonald's and some people are happy at 5-star restaurants, right? But they're both happy, but they're clearly not, enjoying the same thing, right? So even so, we observe in natural things that there is one same place above to which all light objects tend, whereas each one reaches it more closely according as it is lighter, so that they have various mansions corresponding to their various lightness. Okay, so this should make all of us say, hey, I want to be in a high level, and what do I have to do, because I think it's a legitimate question. Whereas the angels, like a seraphim, cannot become a throne, and an archangel cannot become a principality, right? So there's no like movement among the angels, but with us, I think there is, and William might, and in fact I would go so far, because I'll show you a quote that says that Thomas says that in heaven we will be equal to the angels. Like right now we're not equal to the angels. The angels are smarter than us. The angels are different than us. That doesn't mean we'll be angels, but we'll be equal to them. So that means we're all going to be in basically the same place, so to speak, right? And I have a theory that there might be like cherubim humans and seraphim humans and archangel
So not that they
humans.
became angels, but they come to the same level of where the angels are. Different angels
Since there
are.
are levels in heaven.
Heaven.
they're-
So
Okay, so
you
you'd
could
be,
be
like,
in the
matched.
cherubim mansion.
Yeah.
The kind of idea. Okay.
So-
And the idea being that once you get to heaven, where you are is where you stay.
Well, yeah, I would think, but then what if, like, your mom is an archangel and you're a throne? Does that mean you can never see your mom in heaven?
Or is there like a
Because-
neutral territory you get to go
Yeah.
visit?
Yeah.
So you get a day pass, a visitor pass. Like, you go to visit.
So I don't know. I mean, because
Oh,
if
man.
you put it all together,
It'd be really helpful if one of us had been to heven to be able to report back on these things.
Right, yeah.
Right?
yeah,
But that could be
and-
arranged, but
Well, the
so,
saints have, and so.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says here, now here's where we continue it. Whether the various mansions, and this is straight out of the Summa, whether the various mansions are distinguished according to the various degrees of charity. Okay, so there's kind of a long explanation here, but basically he says yes. Okay, he says this several times in the Summa. How is our experience in heaven going to be greater or lesser? Well, it depends on our charity, right? And so you have to, the more you love, the greater it will be. But we can kind of control that, right? I mean, I can kind of train myself to love God more. I can go to adoration more. I can, take better, observation of the created world. I can try to know His effects. I can try to, do things, But if we're, sitting around, playing video games for 18 hours a day, or jacking around, or sinning, or doing stupid things, then we're probably not going to have a good level of. I don't know. I mean, it's a little simplistic, but does that make sense?
yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah. So, anyways, what do y'all think about this? But it's like nobody talks about this because everybody, the average person, I think, It just says, I'm either going to go to hell, I'm going to go to purgatory and spend some time, and then I'm going to get to heaven, right?
Yeah, we don't really talk about much beyond that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's like eternity.
Yeah, you think you want to think about it more.
Yeah.
And so many people think that like, oh, everyone in heaven is equal. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like no.
Yeah.
But there's no scriptural support to say that everybody in heaven is equal. In fact,
I think there's like a saying I feel like everyone says, like, you know, we're all equal in death kind of idea is like what I think maybe that's where a lot of people get that mindset from, you know? Yeah.
It's like me, yeah, we all die. But
Yeah, we
once
all
you get
die.
up there,
Yeah.
so and so is holier than so and so. So I mean, you know.
Yeah.
No.
and the oh, I'm sorry, Diane.
Why would it matter if we're equal or not in heaven? In heaven, we're in the glory and presence of God.
I know.
So I don't think it matters
Yeah.
if we're equal or what our stage is.
Well, I mean, but that's a great question because you could, and again, using my example of, you know, going out to eat, you could go to McDonald's and get a quarter pounder with cheese and a Coke and French fries and be happy, you know, and you could really appreciate that. But then you could also go to a 5-star restaurant, get caviar and lobster bisque, and you're clearly enjoying a greater thing. So
I guess I would understand because, like Jesus, you know, he's worshipped around the world, revered by not just Catholics but other religions as well. They give him deep respect. So I think, when you're in heaven, you know, Christ and Our Lady would be higher up than I guess me or you or whoever makes it. I get that point. So.
I'm trying to make it a comparison. Let's say Sissel was God. Okay.
Wow.
She's not. Okay. And I could know like 10% of what is to be known about Sissel. And that makes me very happy because I know some really good things and I'm happy. But let's say William knows 80% of what is to be known about Sissel, a lot more about her. He would be happier than me, even though I'm happy, you know? So I'm as happy as the capacity of my happiness allows.
Yeah.
But he has a greater, like a gallon full and a 3 ounce of water are both full, but one has more. You know, but they're both full. It's I don't know. I'm using a lot of analogies. Clearly, I even compared Sissel to God. I mean,
Well, we've gone very far now. Mary on YouTube said, "Sounds like the Beatitudes are a clue to the mansion one can look forward to in heaven, depending on your attitude in life."
Yeah.
And then also, Buddy asked,
and if I may comment real quickly
Yes.
on Mary's. You know, our experience of heaven is called beatitude. You know, God is our beatitude. So she's exactly right. They're called beatitudes for a reason.
Yeah.
It is
Our attitude.
It's the heavenly disposition. So it's kind of like, you know, the blessed are those who mourn. You know, blessed are those who. A lot of them seem almost kind of negative.
poor in spirit. Yeah, they all sound very negative, but they're really actually not. But anyhow.
But it's humility. It's not. It's a detachment from the world. Because really, you know, the blessed are those who sorrow. It just means that you're not putting your like excitement and hope in the world, and you know, and you're longing for what's to come, and there's a little bit of sorrow in that because you're not there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Buddy also commented, isn't there a passage in the Bible that says the saints will judge the angels? And I did some quick Google research on that. Yeah, it says it's in 1 Corinthians 6, and it says, "Do you not know that we will judge angels? How much more the things of this life?"
Yeah. So we will judge angels.
Ooh, we get to judge people?
They've already been judged. I mean, the angels have already received their judgment. So what's we just kind of rub it in. You know?
And then Lori also
You guys
said,
had it easy.
she also said that another common thought that she gets is that everyone will go to heaven. Protestants tell me that, and I say, so Hitler's in heaven, and there's obviously a lot of that's what she was commenting about. The pretty common Protestant belief being that if once saved, always saved. So once you've accepted Jesus into your heart and you have chosen God, quote unquote, doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah, and how what a deficit that is, because then you live most likely your life kind of in neutral, like, hey, I'm going to heaven, and you may not desire. I still think it's like. Again, I'm Mr. Analogy. That's the thing that Daniel said he didn't about my class. There's too many analogies, but I'm sorry.
I need analogies.
It's like,
I have all the analogies.
They're helpful.
If I said, let's say you all were aspiring, attorneys, you want to go to law school or something like that, right? And I said, I've got one, free ride, scholarship to whatever, Harvard Law School. And the one of I'll meet back in a year and we'll give you a test. Wouldn't you agree? Because you may have different levels of intelligence, but the person who wants it the most, Cecil, let's say, studies 2 hours a day, William studies 6 hours a day, and Jonathan's studying 8 hours a day, he'll probably get it.
Well,
Why?
no, because I don't like Harvard. You haven't said him.
No, Sam, I don't either. So give it to Cecil.
Okay, let's say Texas A&M. Oh, yeah,
All right, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
You got to go to Harvard. I mean, you got to be where the people are. You got to evangelize. But anyways, my point is the one who wants it the most is. So I mean, how much do we want to get to that highest level of heaven? And at least ask the question, what do I need to do to respond to God's grace to get there? That's what that conversation, like nobody even has that conversation, It's just like, I just want to get to heaven, Well, you may end up in the lowest rung,
Yeah.
We have to aspire for not just barely making it into heaven.
Yeah.
As the idea. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Because I feel like especially one of the biggest things, Protestants have, and when I was not Catholic, was the idea of like not working for your faith and sort of idea. But it's kind of like, well, but you can't also just, say I'm going to go to heaven, like say, okay, Jesus, I love you. And then be like, okay, I'll just do whatever. And I should end up in the right place,
Coast.
Real quick, I have to say it is it's time for me to run away now. 'Cause
Wow.
I have to go to class. So.
All right. Now, do you have which class are you going to now?
Theology.
Oh, theology.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What are y'all learning?
We're talking about the Enuma Elish right now in Genesis.
The Enuma Elish?
The Enuma Elish. It's a
You know what that
Babylonian
is?
creation
I
account.
don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
early on, right? In
Yeah, yeah.
Genesis? Yeah. Okay. Is that like the Nephtali and all that? Are they like the...
I don't know what that is.
Okay. yeah.
Yeah.
You probably will soon.
Yeah, probably soon.
Yeah, it's like, anyways, I don't want to detain you,
No, it's
but
fine.
great to have you. Thanks so
But great to
much.
be back.
Yeah,
I'll see
definitely.
you guys back next week.
Next
Yeah,
week.
woohoo.
Yeah, God willing. Yes. Okay. All right. So any other comments? Anybody? Thanks for everybody who has...
Yeah, and Mary saying, kind of showing up to heaven just after saying like, oh, I love, just because I follow Jesus, that would be like getting a trophy for just showing up. Participation award. We don't do
Which is-
participation awards.
Yeah. And, Diane asked about, why does there have to be inequality in heaven? Inequality is everywhere you look. I mean, nobody would ever say, and I know everybody wants to, everybody be equal and all that, but clearly some people are more intelligent than others. Some people are better looking. Some people are more athletic. I mean, you've got gnats and you've got monkeys and orangutans. You've got dogs and you've got, grub worms. There's no equality in the world, right?
Yeah, I'm reading, or I was reading Dr. Peter Keefe's book. He was one of my dad's professors. I don't know if he was a professor, but he knows my dad, I think, or something like that. And he teaches at Boston College or DED, and he wrote a whole book on the I think it's called Practical Theology.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I've been reading it, and there was this one, I guess it was like its 22nd chapter, 22nd part, and it talked about how inequality is good, and he quotes St. Augustine, and talks about how we have different levels, and we can't all be equal, so it's good to promote the inequality.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like inequality is a very good thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
if
it is.
you're-
Yeah.
if
I
you're-
feel like did we
talk about that?
I don't know if we did a whole show, but I feel like we definitely talked
good
about it.
thing we have bad
Yeah.
memories
Yeah,
because
it's a
we
good
never
thing.
remember what we talked
Well,
about.
we have new people watching all the time,
Yeah.
so
Okay, like for example, I use the example of a movie. If everybody wants to be the lead actor, you'd have chaos. You've got to have somebody that doesn't mind being the one that sweeps up the set afterwards. You got to have somebody who's the extra, so you have all this inequality built into. Imagine a company if everybody wanted to be the CEO. And nobody wants to serve. Nobody.
Yeah.
If every single place. Even within this show. If everybody wants to be the main host, and William is like, I will not. Be I want to open the show. I want to be the main host. One day hopefully you will, and I'll be your sidekick. But there's always order.
there's there's a line. This is making me think of a line from the Litany of Humility. It's the very last line. And it says that others may become holier than I, provided that I may become as holy as I should, is the line. And that line always has stuck out to me a little bit. Because it's saying that like the others may become holier, or we're desiring, because it's humility, obviously. You're desiring for people to become holier, but then it also adds the caveat of provided that I may become as holy as I should.
Right, yeah. So you're not like
Does
a
that mean
slacker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Does that mean that like to an extent we have a set amount of holiness that we are able to achieve individually, or is it that
Yeah, it's like capped off, you mean?
yeah, or is it just simply based on I don't know.
Well, that's a great question because, God pours out his grace, unevenly upon people.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I mean, even the desire to have God's grace is a movement of grace, so God always makes the first step. And so is there like, okay, Sissel's top level is an 8 and William can get to a 9 and Palmer can get to a 3. I mean, that seems inherently unfair, but then again, life is very unfair. I mean, I could have been a grub worm, or I could have been a mouse. I mean, I guess I could have been. I don't know why. Why did we become human beings? I mentioned that in my book, right?
Yes.
You read that part, didn't you?
Totally. That was at the beginning. I remember that.
It was very much at the beginning.
I am over halfway through it.
Yeah, the other thing about inequality is I think it teaches about humility as well. Because like you said, we're not on the same level. We're not always the manager or the host of a show or something like that. We have different levels, so it teaches about humility as well, I think.
Yeah. So let me just read this one part where, William, if you can find this, it says, whether men are taken up into the angelic orders. Okay, do you see that? It's the last slide before trivia. Okay. It says, the Lord says of the saints that they will be as the angels of God. Okay, that's Matthew 22. I answer that the orders of the angels are distinguished according to the condition of nature and according to the gifts of grace. Considered only as regards the grade of nature, men can in no way be assumed into the angelic orders. That means that our nature is different than the angels. For the natural distinction will always remain. In view of this distinction, some asserted that men can in no way be transferred to the equality with the angels. But this is erroneous, contradicting as it does the promise of Christ, saying that the children of the resurrection will be equal to the angels in heaven. For whatever belongs to nature is the material part of an order, whilst that which perfects is from grace, which depends on the liberality of God and not on the order of nature. Therefore, by the gift of grace, men can merit glory in such a degree as to be equal to the angels in each of the angelic grades. Okay, let's see that? In each of the angelic grades. So we can merit in each of the angelic grades. So I think that line right there seems to indicate that there will be seraphim.
Will be on the same levels.
Yeah, there will be cherubim, humans, there will be archangels, there will be the lowly angels.
So we'll be right in there with the angels, basically.
Yeah,
right.
And so we're in a category. Now, like Sissel was saying, does that mean we're in like different rooms or something? I don't know. Okay, and this implies that men are taken up into the order of the angels. Some, however, say that not all who are saved are assumed into the angelic orders, but only virgins or the perfect, and that the other will constitute their own order, as it were, corresponding to the whole society of the angels. But this is against what Augustine says, that there will not be two societies of men and angels, but only one, because the beatitude of all is to cleave to God alone.
Interesting.
I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is Aquinas. This isn't, infallible, but he clearly is saying that we will be in the orders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but they're in there by nature. Like I said, a seraphim can't become a throne can't become a dominion, but it's according to our charity. And Sissel asked a great question. I mean, does that mean like the highest order that Sissel could ever get to would be like a power or a virtue, and you could become a cherubim or a seraphim? I don't know. But it's worth pondering.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I think about it. Let's all try to get into the same place, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Ready,
Let's
team.
plan.
Yeah. I do have a question though, real quick.
Yeah.
So if there's different levels of angels, and when we all die, if we go to heaven, there's different. We're in there with the levels of angels. Would that also mean I know there's levels of hell as well, but are there different levels of? Because I know you can be, just like in heaven, how everyone's happy, you can also be unhappy in hell. So, but are there different levels where one is more unhappy than the other, and are there angels that are in those categories as well, or demons that are in those categories as well?
Ooh, interesting question.
Yeah, great question. I'll have to say, in all honesty, I need to go, read up more
So that's
on
going to be a
this,
future show, basically, is what I'm hearing. Well, what I'm hearing.
This program,
William's really good at that, actually.
Yeah, he always kind of hints at the next show. But I think, and I can go back and research this. I think what Thomas says is he's not quite as certain that there are hierarchies in hell, and maybe unhappiness is unhappiness.
I mean, it's always it's in Dante's Inferno and stuff like that. They talk a lot about
which
that.
Which is very uninfallible, right?
Very uninfallible, of course.
Have y'all read that?
Yes.
The Divine Comedy?
I haven't
I've
yet.
read it when I was like 14. It's been a while.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
In Paradiso
Yes.
and Purgatorio?
Yes. When I was 14.
As a Protestant?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because remember, I was a Protestant, but I was classically educated. So we read things by some snippets from St. Thomas Aquinas, and we read a lot of the great books, which have a lot of Catholic themes in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they were just preparing you for
They
the
were. They had no idea.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Victor showed up.
Yes, Victor is here. He says he's late, but I said he still showed up, and he's in time for trivia. Most important, obviously, the best part.
That's why he got here.
And then also, real quick, a couple of comments from Buddy. He said, going back to the belief that, once saved, always saved. He goes, that's one of the reasons he became Catholic. And it does not make any logical sense that he could do whatever he wanted and still get into heaven. Jesus Christ gave instructions to be a Christian, and belief equals obedience. And then also he asked, before the fall, was Adam and Eve above the angels? And is this the reason of Satan's jealousy? That's a really interesting question.
Yeah, I had heard that the Satan's jealousy was more based on Jesus and Mary, that he would have to bow down to Jesus, who was had human nature, and also Mary, because Mary is the queen of the angels. And if you're and I mentioned that this in the book as well, but if you're a seraphim angel and you're asked to bow down to this lowly creature because she's the mother of God and you don't want to, then you rebel. But I don't. I think that the Adam and Eve's minds would have been very angelic in the sense of they knew all things, and it would have been similar. But I don't know. They still would have been human beings, though. They still would have had bodies, and they still would have come to know things through the senses. And so I don't know. I guess. Yeah, good question.
Man, really good question. We got some good questions today.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, and so we leave it at that, and we're like, all right, there's all these different levels of heaven, and boy, I sure hope I get to a high one. I want to be a seraphim human being, but it begs the question, what are we going to do? And I have my own theory about it, and I think it has to do with you can't love what you don't know, and the only way we really one of the key ways that we can come to know God is through His effects. We can receive Jesus in the Eucharist, and that's the highest form of prayer is the Mass, and we can pray and all that. But I tend to think that he's left gifts all over the world for us to learn something about him, and especially in our day and age with technology, we don't take advantage of it.
And you can learn more about it in the up-and-coming book by Dave Palmer.
That's really what I'm really getting
That's what
at.
he's really trying to say. I would just like to brag. My brag. Dave gets to go to the Chosen, premiere. My brag is that I get to read Dave's book before it's released.
Oh, wow. Lucky you.
Lucky me.
So, all right. Well, thank you. I'm always really impressed with the questions that come in and what you guys come up with, especially, William and Jonathan as young people. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
When I was your age, man, I was mush for brains. I was like, what time's dinner? I wasn't thinking about this kind of stuff, But anyways, sometimes we have to play catch up.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to get us into our next she clearing her throat. Cecil, come on.
Well, I was waiting for the music.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's that time of the show where we give Dave Sue what to think about, and he gives it right back, and that's all I have time to say. I think we started a little late there.
Sorry, the computer froze for a second.
Yeah.
I love that pause was just really, really funny. I was just like...
Yeah.
I also almost grabbed a pen to use it as a microphone, pretending that I remembered I had an actual microphone in front of my face.
You just feel like you have to hold something.
I was like, I had to hold it. I should
right.
next time just pull out a whole microphone.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, William
Trivia time.
always brings his one question, which sometimes morphs into two questions. But did you come equipped?
So today, I kind of wish I had gone with Jonathan back to UD because I do not have any questions
nothing.
today.
Oh,
No.
no.
Say it isn't so, William.
Unfortunately, it is.
Oh, he was
All
doing
right.
so well for so many weeks, and then Jonathan came back and kind of just like,
I know.
your foothold is like, as the best intern. Is like,
Yeah, it's actually kind of because of the because we didn't have a show last week because of the share-a-thon, so I completely forgot about trivia and everything today, and so I was like, oh. I got here and I'm like, I forgot trivia.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you sure did.
I'm not prepared, but I will try to be prepared next
You'll
week.
try to be better next week. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I do, and I actually prepared like early for once. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of myself.
And I think I know your topic. but
Yeah,
I
so
didn't cheat.
fortunately, William, Dave did get a little sneak peek because I wanted to make sure, because Dave and I have had the tendency of going for the same topic,
Okay.
like trivia questions. So
Yeah, like movies and stuff.
yeah. So yeah. Did you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I think yours is probably going to be better, so why don't I go first?
No
so we
pressure,
can
okay.
we can hold on to our viewers.
Oh,
they can say,
dear.
"Well, I want to.
Okay, so we're walking away from movies and we're going to music, which is a big love of mine. And we're talking about angels, so I thought, okay, songs with angel in them. But then I realized after a Google search that there were a list of like 200 songs with angel in
really?
them, and I was like, haha, we need to come up with some standards here. So basically, here are my like three or four rules standards thing. Okay, so the song the title has to have the word angel in it, not just the
Okay.
song. So
Okay.
like an example of that would be Devil in Disguise by Elvis. It says angel in the song, but not in the title.
Okay,
would not
so
count.
it doesn't have to be the word angel, but anything that
No,
is an
word
angel.
angel. It has to have
Okay.
the word angel,
In
but
the title.
in the title.
Not
title,
Devil,
okay.
so
Not in the
Devil
lyrics.
Disguise does not count.
No, it does not count because
has
the
to be
song is
angel.
called Devil in the Sky, something like that. But doesn't have angel in the title.
I got you.
Got it. It does
Okay,
have
cool.
angel in the lyrics, not in the title.
All right.
Um,
How many do you have?
I have 10. So I had to narrow it down. So some of these also, we're just going based on the ones that Sissel came up with that I think are some of the most common ones. So that I'm hoping that most people would know, and it kind of spans from, many decades of music. Okay. And then also because there are many beautiful hymns with angels and like angels we have heard on high, no hymns.
No hymns.
Because that would just go on forever. And also because I discovered there's at least 20 songs literally just called Angel.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
that
Oh,
sounds like
I was gonna guess that.
that was like your one guess,
That was
right?
my first guess, yeah.
We are not doing that because there's like 20 different songs called Angel and they're all different, and I refuse to go down that path.
All right.
Okay.
So now I have a few years on you, William, so I may have a little bit better
Yeah.
knowledge of the old music.
Yeah.
After that, just Angel, I only had one more guess. So.
Okay, well let him guess first
Okay,
then.
what's your one?
Okay, my one other guess would be, and I don't remember the artist, but is there one on your list called Angels and Demons?
No,
there
but
is a song
I'm
called
sure
Angels
there is a
and
song called that. I'm gonna.
Okay.
We'll give you a
Isn't
bonus point,
half a point,
sympathy
yeah.
point for that.
All right.
Isn't that a book?
I don't know if it's a book. I know it's a song, though.
Yeah, Angels and Demons. I thought that was a
I
book.
have one.
Okay.
Do you,
Can I
man,
go?
does Mandy want to
Okay.
answer? Do you want to go sit in the chair?
Yeah. William's knocked out. 'cause
Can I
he's-
name one?
does. So yeah. Diane wants to name one.
Okay, go for it.
Send me an angel.
Oh yeah.
Who's that by? What's the name of the song?
Scorpion?
I did not have that one on mine. Sorry, guys.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, I
Okay.
didn't have that on my list.
How about isn't there one by Aerosmith? You're an angel.
Yes,
Isn't
that
there
is one. That is one.
Okay, what's it? Is it called You're an Angel?
I had You're an Angel down, but I don't think that's the actual title. I think that was just for my memory. So
Okay.
we'll go with it.
So all right. So
One, that's one.
Angel baby.
Yes, the Rosie and the Originals from the 50s or early 60s. Angel baby.
Okay.
Sorry.
And are there some that are like, oh, we'll definitely all know it?
Yeah,
or-
there's one I feel like you at least have heard for sure.
Okay.
For sure. It's a very, very common kind of doo-wop song.
Oh yeah.
Angel in the title. It has to be in the title.
Angel in the title. But some are pretty obscure. Let me see if
Heaven must be missing an angel?
that's not a song, is it?
Nope.
See, Diane cheats. Diane goes. Diane, I can always tell when Diane's cheating because she's like doing searches on the internet. I don't know if I can think of any others.
Really?
And the people
Wow,
out
I
there
feel
and
bummed out now.
watching are not.
Oh, Angel Eyes. Lori got that. And Earth Angel. Lori for
is
the
that-
win.
oh,
I was on the wrong
Earth
thing.
Angel,
And Buddy also got
Angel.
Angel. Send me an angel. Hark the Herald. I said no hymn, so Hark the Herald does not count.
In the arms of an angel. Oh, okay.
In the arms. Yep, that's another
of
one.
an angel. Isn't that Sarah McLachlan or something?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
No, that one doesn't count because I think that was just called Angel. That was I did not put that on the
got
list.
eliminated.
That got eliminated. It was on my list, and then I realized.
Is it Sir McLaughlin?
I think so. I don't have it on the list now.
Earth Angel. That's the big one.
Earth Angel was the big one that I thought you all might know. Do you recognize that?
I don't think so.
I'll have to play it for you. We can't do it now because we'll get in trouble. Earth Angel. We'll not get copyrighted because that was so bad.
The people are like, oh no, that was horrible.
We're fine. In the Arms of an Angel. Yep, we got that one. Victor said Angel in Disguise. I don't have that one on my list, but I know that is also one. Okay, here, do you want me to start listing some of them, see if you all recognize them?
I think so.
Angels Among Us, Alabama. I did a dance to it when I was like 6, so I remember that one. Angels Among Us, Sent Down To. It's kind of a cheesy song. Anyhow, did we say Pretty Little Angel Eyes by Curtis Lee?
No.
Pretty Little Angel Eyes. Johnny Angel. Another 50s song. Okay, wow. Angel with a Shotgun, The Cab. Wow, okay. I just have a really weird eclectic music.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought these would be songs that people know, but apparently not. There must be an angel playing with my heart, Eurythmics.
Oh, no.
All right, well, we've just learned that this has a weird music taste.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Do you know that song?
I don't.
No.
No.
I think it's so funny when there's like a song from the 80s that was like...
Yes, Joan got Johnny Angel, sorry.
Like extremely popular, and then the younger generation,
Yeah.
like you hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
don't. I mean, I can hear like 80s songs and then kind of be like, oh yeah, I've heard
I've
that before,
heard
but I
that.
like don't know the title of any of them.
Yeah.
And some
yeah.
runner-ups I had in here that we didn't mention was Angel of Harlem, U2, and Angels and Sailors by The Doors. But again, apparently we've learned
By
that...
The Doors?
Yeah,
Angels and Sailors, huh? Okay.
Apparently my music taste is a little bit all over the place, so apologies. Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel, that's another one. I don't remember who that's by, Mary. She commented that one. Well, everyone got some points anyway. We tried our best. And you've learned some angel songs. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, you should walk away with your head held high because you did well.
Thank
you. Don't let our ignorance. I
was like, well, I'm covering lots of generations here. Some some of these are new and some of these are old, different genres. Apparently not. Apparently Earth Angel is like the only universal one that everyone knew.
All right. So yeah, Earth Angel definitely. That's the big one. No, the Aerosmith one. I think most people know. Then the one Diane mentioned also.
Yes.
All right. So a few angel trivia questions is what I have. Okay.
Oh boy.
Name the 4 angels who are named in Scripture.
Gabriel.
Okay.
Saint Michael.
Michael, Gabriel.
Raphael.
Raphael. And who's the 4th?
Oh,
Uriel.
He's not mentioned though. No.
So no, it's so you got the 3 archangels.
Crumpets.
And no, it wasn't crumpets. Does anybody know? Another angel.
Can I have a hint?
Samuel.
Samuel wasn't an angel.
No.
We just start naming random Bible characters, hoping that they're an angel.
The hint is
it
as soon
is
as
it the one who?
as soon as I tell you, you're gonna go, of
Wait, go, William. I want to hear what you say.
It's like so.
Was there
obvious.
one that appeared to Gideon, or am I thinking of something?
You talking about Tobit?
Gideon,
No,
Gideon,
yeah.
the judge. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Everyone's gone up to the
I don't know if there
Gabriel.
a
was.
lot of angels appeared to people. I mean, remember like the angels that appeared to Abraham and Sodom.
Yeah.
All that. But no, you want me to tell you?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Lucifer.
I feel like we've done this before, and I got it wrong then too. I feel like if you've done this
I
actual
know.
question, and we didn't get it that time either.
It didn't help you at all, did
I was
it?
thinking along the lines of like the
That's
good
so
angels.
annoying. I know, right? I was only, and that when he was Lucifer, he was an angel. Oh
Right,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Okay. Here's an easy one. Which book in the Bible records the most angelic activity?
Revelation.
All right.
Oh, I was answering a comment. I'll let you have that one, William.
You gave William
I gave you an opportunity.
You said it earlier in the show too.
Yeah, he
so.
did. He did.
Okay, the prophet Isaiah describes one particular type of Isaiah in Isaiah chapter 6. They have 6 wings, and Isaiah refers to them after he has an experience with one of them. What kind of angel?
Powers,
was
principalities, dominions, virtues, seraphim.
Seraphim.
I decided to go more off the wall
Yeah,
than.
that was a cheap win there.
Hey, listen.
Okay, let's see. Okay, out of the 4 Gospels, only one, and don't start saying Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Only one contains the name of Gabriel, the
Luke.
angel who appears.
I was gonna say Luke too.
Okay, yeah, Luke.
He has the most thorough birth nativity story.
Yeah.
Actually, the most thorough of most things.
Now,
but-
here's one that you. Okay, I'm already going to tell you your reaction. Okay,
Oh,
your
dear.
reaction, I think, is going to be like.
Don't tell me what to do. Dan.
Go ahead and react as I tell you you're going to.
Okay.
But this is going to be like one of those things. Like it's in the back of your head.
Oh,
and you're like,
no.
oh, I know this. But, okay.
Okay.
Who were the three men? Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. This is related to an angel. Okay.
Okay.
Who were the three men saved from the furnace by an angel?
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh, whoa. I guess that wasn't too far back in your mind, was it? Did you know those?
Yeah, I knew it. I just couldn't say it as fast.
That was a really common Bible trivia question we had growing up. So
Okay. Let's see. Last one here. And are we even paying attention to
that was in the book of Daniel, by the way, in case anyone
Okay.
was wondering.
Boy.
Because it's yes, Nebuchadnezzar put them in the furnace. Yeah, the fire.
Yeah, it's like it's way back in the deep recess of your mind, and you're not going to be able to know it. And boy, was I ever wrong.
We have a question real quick from Monica asking, "Is Uriel an angel?"
I don't.
I've heard that term name
Can
thrown
somebody
apart,
do
but
some fact checking?
on Google, that's a real safe source.
Okay, here's the last question, okay? Many people see angels as heralds or just messengers of God's news to man, but they are also extremely powerful. During the reign of Hezekiah, Sennacherib besieged Jerusalem with his great army. God heard the prayer of Hezekiah, and during the night smote 185,000 soldiers, ending Assyria's attack. How many angels did God send in this battle to defend his people?
1.
7.
I was gonna say 1. Just 1.
I don't know. I don't
I
remember
mean,
this.
that's all that's needed, right?
I think it was more than 1, but I could be wrong. Maybe.
The answer is 1!
Oh, nice. Good job, William.
All right.
I didn't know.
And you said that so, like, assuredly.
Yeah,
You did.
I actually
Good
wasn't
job.
sure. It was just a random guess, but
Hey, it makes sense.
yeah,
It makes sense.
like there's only one that's needed.
Yeah.
Victor guessed 18,000. He was really close. He just accidentally hit the 8000 afterwards.
So he was only 17,999 off. I mean,
Close. You're like, it's really
what's
close.
that between
I
friends?
said 7 because I thought that, I don't know, holy number.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Seven
Not
sounds good.
not.
Why do I remember random things like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but I can't remember that?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's not like a remember kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
It's an in one ear and out the.
All right. Well, look at that. It's exactly 2:00, and that signals the conclusion of this week's edition of Back to the Father. I don't have a topic planned yet for next week, but it'll be something fun
All right.
and interesting. Thank you, William.
You bet.
Thank you, Diane, for your contribution. Thank you, Hatless One, Hatful One, Hatted One.
Thank you.
That's what I meant. Back-hatted one. All right. Thanks, everybody. God bless you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at grnonline.com.